we have a $20 donation from Big Up saying, missing the crowd, but still gotta support. All the best. And with that, we are ready for our Metal Storm run with Mad Mega. Take it away.
Hello again, everybody. I'm still Mad Mega. I changed my hat and my shirt, but still the same guy, I promise. I have with me Dagron.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hi.
He's the world record holder in this category, so he's the best person to talk about this with me. So,
what limited experience I have with this version of the game, but yeah.
All right, so this is a re-release of classic Metal Storm, and so I'm going to let the opening cinematic play because I think it's awesome. Humanity has set foot in the Sea of Stars. The inexorable advance of scientific knowledge has further led them to transform Pluto into a mobile military fortress codenamed Gigadeath. One day, not long after the military installed a planetary-scale cannon, all contact with the Pluto fortress was lost. And then catastrophe. Neptune Base 3 went silent. When the Space Federation investigated, they discovered that Neptune itself had been obliterated. Gigadeath was immediately implicated. The Federation tried to activate the base's remote self-destruct, but it was too late. It was completely out of control. Soon, Gigadeath's cannon began to zero in on its next target, Earth. With the remote detonator offline, only one hope remained. Someone would have to infiltrate the base to trigger the system directly from within Gigadeath's core. Because of the variety of defensive measures built into the fortress, the Federation elected to send a state-of-the-art heavy mobile weapon, the Storm Gunner. So, I read all of that as quickly as I could because it's almost impossible to read it when it comes up. The screens are way too fast. But it actually tells the story of this game, which you don't get in the US version. So, with that, we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Real quick, there's one thing that I have to do here. I have to start, hold select, and then hit start again to unpause. This version of the game shipped with the gravity controls reversed. So I have to fix that every time I play this version.
Oh, so that's why it happens.
Yeah, when I first got this, this was a re-release that Retrobit did that took the Japanese version and translated it and gave it the palette switch that the Japanese version uses. And when I first tried to play it, I was like, the gravity doesn't work. I can't play this. What am I doing? And it turns out that that's how you fix that, how you flop those back and forth. But I couldn't play it the other way, so we had to fix it.
I can't blame you. So, like, as far as, like, the actual game itself, there's, like, 3 different power-ups you can grab, you know, putting aside the armor power-up for a second here. And you can only hold one of them at a time. So you kind of have to trade between them as you go throughout the run itself. It's a very fragile mech that you're actually controlling. It dies in one hit, but there is an armor power-up that allows you to take a single hit, you know, depending on what actually does hit you.
Whew.
That was close.
Totally intentional, I swear.
Yeah, and one thing I can already tell is, like, one of the big differences of this version is I think they kind of swapped some of the color palettes here, not just with the mech, but with the backgrounds as well.
Yeah, the main mech, the color palette is different there, and that then impacts a bunch of other little things here. I'm grabbing this armor for safety. I just like to have it. If I have it when I get to the stage 3 boss, I'll burn it, and it'll save time.
That being said, these swinging doors, they are a one-hit kill, regardless of whether you have the armor power-up, so it's very important he doesn't get hit by them. And they do swing open and close as you flip gravity.
Yeah, so that's kind of the main gist of this game is that we're breaking the law of gravity all over the place, and we're using that to basically move around as quickly as possible and get through, you know, jumps you wouldn't be able to make otherwise and that sort of thing. it's a little stressful. It's pretty fast paced, for sure. There's not a lot of downtime in this run.
This version of the game really loves its white color, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does. It's almost too bad they didn't change the color palettes on these things that run on the track in this stage, because I swear they look like green snow speeders. Like if Empire Strikes Back had green snow speeders, that's what they'd look like. 100%. So I switched back to the power weapon that Dagron was talking about. It's the most powerful shooting weapon in the game, so we generally want that for bosses. It melts most enemies pretty well, so.
Yeah, very important for boss fights. That hit was a little unfortunate, but there is a bit of a backup here. So this boss here, he kind of likes to follow you around, but if you're always on the same quarter of the screen as he is, he doesn't go anywhere. So you can just sit in that safe spot and just blow him up right there. You obviously can't do that in, say, the second loop, because those things that circle around him will move too fast. But in this first loop, you can squeeze through him and try to shoot him from there.
All right, this is an auto scroller section here, so this is probably a good opportunity for some donations. If got anything you'd like to read?
And so it shall be done. We have $10 from JCube saying, if NeoCAD is such an expert, I want him to prove it. This goes towards the Power Blade Expert Mode incentive.
Excellent. Yeah, definitely everybody donate for that, because that is awesome.
I must stay awake for this run.
Along the same lines, Terminally Nerdy 132 donates $10 and says, let's get a train rolling. Choo choo!
Really?
So he's actually coming up to the mini boss here as soon as he gets rid of these respawning enemies here. And a little bit scary. He doesn't have the armor power up here.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. I'll just do it.
Ah, yes. The good old safety
Play it
strat.
safe.
Well played.
Doesn't hurt to be safe. Honestly, I'm not sure I've ever died there, so I don't know if it sends you back to the actual beginning of that stage or not.
It only sends you back to the beginning of the fight. So it's like basically no time loss at all.
So we have these little shrimp we have to fight. At least I call them shrimp. That's what they look like to me. Like two shrimp glued together or something. I don't know. Don't ask me. I didn't make them. Time for another donation or two here. This is another auto-scroller segment in the elevators.
I think it's time to read my first haiku for this marathon. Code 178 says, compose a poem, $1 per syllable, haiku donation. $17 for that donation, 1 per syllable.
Excellent.
There's also quickly just a $50 donation from Frito200 with no comment. Thank you very much, Frito.
This is just about the end of this. Now we come to the stage 4 boss. This boss isn't hard, but you really don't want to take damage, because if you take damage here, it really kind of breaks stage 5 if you're trying to do stage 5 fast. So that was great, as I said that.
Damn. Yeah, that boss is pretty difficult, and you know, you want to keep a constant chain of damage, you have to get pretty close to him.
Yeah, I was trying to. I was more worried, honestly, about bumping into the boss itself as opposed to the other item there, or the beams that the like top and bottom shoot. But
the toothpaste. Yeah, so there was those two machines that like shoot things that look like toothpaste, and that's kind of what he was talking about there.
Yeah, so we're gonna be actually 2 cycles behind here, I think, because I'm gonna wait. Yeah, so we're about 5 seconds slower than we'd actually like to be after that stage. Whoops! And now this is all messed up because I missed a jump. Oh well.
This is a very difficult stage, and a lot of it is cycle-based as well.
Yeah, I would say that stage 5 is far and away the most difficult stage in the no wrong warp category. Even in the Japanese version, it is more difficult. I've already lost so much time. I'm just gonna take it safe. The next stage actually is a little more difficult in this version than the US version, but
Playing hopscotch with the lasers. Just jumping right over those lasers. Yeah, so that's actually a nice little strat sub-style he found. And replaces what used to be an old strat of manipulation based on positioning as well as damage done to the boss. And it was a very inconsistent quick kill strategy before that was actually discovered.
yeah, that fight went from probably the worst fight in the game to really not that tough as long as you can get your pixel correct there. So the US version of this game, you can see at the top and bottom of the screen that there are these like lasers. The US version doesn't have that. So this version I can't screen wrap, but the US version you can. So it's a big difference in terms of, you know, making the stage easier or more difficult, I guess. You can't screen wrap like you can in the US version, which basically you can kind of walk the whole way.
That long star certainly looked like a pretty tricky section with those lasers added in. Yeah, so this boss fight here is a very, very interesting one. So these hatches, all three of these machines you're kind of jumping from one to the other on, they kind of open up their weak points. And that's the only time you can actually do damage to them. And as you see there, progressively, once they turn red and you shoot them again, they're destroyed. And if you don't really have another one to jump to and you shoot one, you're probably going to get hit by those lasers at the top or the bottom. So it's actually a very tricky fight to do even properly on a casual level.
Yeah, I was close to doing the fast strat, and then I missed the third cycle shot, I think. So it was close. I feel pretty good about it anyways. These are just refights of each of the bosses. If you want to sneak in a quick donation, now's a good time.
Can do. There is a $25 donation from Waiter who says, Mad Mega
Hey.
makes my heart smile. Good luck meddling all those storms, you handsome dreamboat.
Thanks, Waiter. Shout outs to Waiter. He's a rad dude. Friend of mine, Mega Man Runner. He's awesome fellow. I did it again. Every time.
That time it was the toothpaste catching your heel. Yeah, it's pretty tough spot to actually get the right positioning for. Yeah, and sometimes you have to worry about getting into the proper positioning with this particular fight as well.
There we go.
You have to be just far enough off the ledge so that one red laser actually kind of slinks past you on the left side of you there.
Yeah, luckily that's probably like the least punishing death that
You can have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I missed that one. Might still be kind of okay. If I remembered to get on the right one. All right, we're gonna do it the less fast way, but that's okay. That's to do this fight optimally. You basically can't make a mistake. It's really, really tough. So that's the refight section, and now we get to the other thing that makes this game different. Is this last sequence here? You actually talk to the AI that is Gigadeath. That's in charge of the system. It tells you to cease this foolishness at once. My duty is of the utmost importance. Humanity is a cancer that must be purged. Desist. Cease at once. You will regret this. So be it. You
Time's
will
coming
die with me. Yeah, time, sorry. When this connects in... Now, there it is.
GG.
So that is you saving humanity from an evil AI. And then this little notification at the end. The Earth was saved from catastrophe, and yet will not man learn. Humanity's history has been wrought with strife. Who can tell if mankind will ever embrace its cosmic mother instead of harming her? If mankind does not change, it might be better if they were wiped out. Each of us must do our part to bring peace to all living things in the universe. So that is the re-release, retranslation of Gravity Trooper Metal Storm. It is one of my favorite games. I think it's super awesome. It's a lot of fun to play. Just a big fan. Want to say thank you again to Dagron for being here. He's absolute, just great runner, top flight, and absolutely just crazy at this game. Thanks again to GDQ for having me, for letting me run both of these games that I love so much, and for letting me talk way too much. Keep on donating. Stick around. Next up is Micromages with... or wait, no, I guess the schedule changed, so I'm not sure what's next, so never mind. Forget I said anything.
Thanks for the run.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks
and,
for showing
bye,
off
everybody.
this version of the game.
We have a $25 donation from HJA saying, good luck on your runs. Sorry, couldn't think of anything more creative. I still need to finish my coffee. And with that, we will return after a quick Twitch ad. And we are back. I'd like to thank MadMega once more for those awesome runs of New Ghostbusters 2 and Metal Storm. I got a few more donations left from those runs. We have a $50 donation from the Lebanon Fairy saying, loving this run from MadMegaX381, go get Gigadeath. We have $17 from Anonymous saying, Gravity Waivers, Energy Burning Metal, the hidden classic. We have a $10 donation from Pascal28 saying, yeehaw, put this toward the Power Blade Expert difficulty run. As a reminder, surely NeoCAD is putting up a normal difficulty Power Blade run that we are hoping to upgrade to expert difficulty. That incentive currently stands at just under $2,000 of the $2,500 needed for that upgrade. I think we can get $500 pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and meet that incentive. You also have the opportunity to put your donations towards many of the other incentives currently available, one of which is Bonus Game 1, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Adakiri donates $15 and says, I was so helplessly impressed at MadMegaX381's memorization of the intro that I just had to donate. This $15 goes to Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It was so much fun to see it on GDQ's The First Step show, and I love to see it run by people who really know what they're doing, as delightful a job as Kizaron and J Hobbs did. For those of you who are unaware, when Games Done Quick is not running the marathon, there are a number of speed run themed shows run through the Twitch channel, one of which is The First Step. The purpose of The First Step is to show how, if you are, as you watch this marathon thinking, oh, I wish I could learn how to speed run a game, it just seems too difficult, it's actually not that hard to get started. In The First Step, Kizaron and J Hobbs, who are speedrunners, speedrun a game that they do not personally speedrun. And it's really nice to see how you can successfully speedrun a game without having to be an expert at it. And the first steps are not all that intimidating. So after Games Done Quick Marathon Summer Online 2020 is done, feel free to take a peek at that show if you want to see what it takes to get into speedrunning. All right. We are almost ready for the Chicken of the Farm run. So here's one more donation from Link7777. Great to see my game at GDQ. Enjoy and keep